device. How's that do? Does that work now? Do you guys hear me? Hey, Tomahawk, how you doing, buddy? Okay, Andy, that says 7 points. Nice. Um, Volume is low. Okay, let me put it out then. How's that? Is that good? Okay. Um, okay. I'm just gonna be here. Turn up the mic just a little bit. Let me. That's one part. I just don't want to get it too hot. There we go. How is that? Lead us to riches. I would be happy to. Hey. Too hot. That's what I thought. When I saw it, I mean, I'm hitting the red pretty much. So just trying to anchor it down where it's not going to go. Okay, hold on. How's this? Now, Bogardus, you are not allowed to pick on Die Laughing. Down one notch. That's good. Okay, great. Great. Let me drop the stuff from the Procaster and bring up what I've got here. Now, this is my setup. I've shown it a couple times, but I've been getting some questions about it too. Am I using my southern accent now, Gas? Or is this not it? And Bill Rock, I thought you were my friend. Not it. Okay, good. I'm not going to be southern today because I'm not on with RPM. Just he and I play the Hillbilly Twins. That's all. It's still too hot. Okay, hold on. I got it up, so it's just on the other screen. Let me get to that screen. There we go. How is that? Is that better? It does sound like an Ohio accent, and I can't imagine why. Okay, some people asked what was wrong with the VIX and the UVXY and the VXX also. The VIX right now, and this was really crazy about a week ago. I'll get into that, Frost. About a week ago on Friday, so it would be 10 days ago, we had the VIX up like a buck, and the UVXY and the VXX were down. So today we're in a similar position, not quite as drastic, but we have the VIX up 38 cents today to 17.12, which is still a very low VIX. But the UVXY and the VXX, which track the VXX, I know tracks the futures. The VIX is based on something else, and I'll get into that. Because of that, each one of those is based on something different. What you run into, the VIX itself is based on the number of really puts, the amount of options on the SPX, the cash. So Yeah, Learjet, just leave him alone. He's gone, and he should have been. It got a little crazy there with you, and it was not you, I don't believe. Okay, so we'll just let that one go. What I've got on this chart, this is something, and I put the name in of a trading site. It was, let me go back. It was earlier this morning, but the trading site is called let me see if I can find it here. Let me put it in. See if I have it on Day Trader still. Yeah, I do. Okay. If you want to find out about my stochastics, this is the website. And down here there also is one called DA charts. That's I used to use 5-6 years ago. I used to use a package called Ensign Charting, Ensign software. I used to use that package with eSignal. That was even before I had TOS. I guess I've had TOS about 6 years, so this might have been 7 or 8 years ago, something like that. But what you run into, I'm going to drop this now. If you look, you know, there's the guy, and this is the signal, and I'll just show you here. There's the picture. I don't know if you could see it, but that's trading naked. Yeah, NQs. NQs also was on that same site at about the same time. And there's what we have now. No, that's not me. It just looks a lot like me, Cloven. Yeah. Not the guy on TV. What I have here, this is something, if you go and you look on that site, they have 2 sets of stochastics and MACD on it and a bunch of other stuff. I pared everything down to 2 stochastics. And what I have is a 3510 3, and these are all, some packages call it full stochastics, some call it slow stochastics. But basically you want to have 3 different inputs. The first input should be the number of bars that you're going to look at. So in the case of the red line on my chart, that's 35 bars, and then it's slowed for the percent D to a 10 of the average of 10 bars, and then it's slowed again for the 3 average. And if you don't understand stochastics, don't worry about it. It's just called 35-10-3. For instance, John uses a 14.33. That's looking at 14 bars. The percent D is 3. The last 3, an average of 3 bars. And then he looks at the last 3 and gets an average of that. That's how that's done. This is actually a 2-minute because I like a little smoother look on the ES. So what I use here, I just use the percent D, the smoothest line. Let me do that in a minute, Sonny. Just keep reminding me so I don't forget. What I do here, yeah, I guess we could take a second out, couldn't we? Let's all give XTAD a big happy birthday. It's his 85th, I think, XTAD. How many is this? Trying to make you older than me, buddy. Yeah, put a 1 in the room to wish XTAD 46. You young spring chicken. Everybody put a happy birthday HB or something in the room for XTAD. There you go. Tomahawk cut out with the goddarn 1s. Now, boy, see there, I dropped into my country sound. XTAD, you're a great member. Sorry. Yeah, sure, Tomahawk. Anyway, let's get back to it because this really works well. What I use is I take the percent D and then I got a set of other stochastics. There, I don't know if you can see the black because on my chart, it looks like you can't see. The green line has a black line behind it. Okay, so I show both, and that is a 14.33. Okay, I put them one on top of another. It's easy in almost every package except for TOS. This is TOS software charting. In TOS, you have to say overlay all the lower indicators. Most charting packages will let you move 2 indicators into one box. Okay, so what it is, it's like looking at 2 separate time frames. The 3510 gives you a very smooth the red line, very smooth look because it's looking at 35 candles. When the 14.33, both of them break out from the bottom, from oversold, you typically get a very strong move. Well, here the ES broke out at about 10 o'clock, went up, and then I have a Bollinger Bands on the top. I have a 3 and 8 EMA, and then I have a 50 and a 200 EMA just for support and resistance. The 3 and the 8 I use for actual entry. When I see the 3 spread out nicely above the 8 and my stochastics are going also, I tend to, that's my confirmation to jump in. Okay, so I look at my slow stochastics, 35 bars, and I'm getting an up. 14 bars, which is much faster, I'm getting an up. That's double momentum, and I get the signal where, and it may be hard to see the 3 and the 8 because this is not my normal chart. I have it colored different to be able to put it on the screen. But in this case, they broke out, let's say, at 1345 and a quarter, and you could have ran it directly up to 1349.56. A straight run, too. Okay. Then you get, so that's a fast over slow maneuver on this combo. Then you get one where the long term, the 3510, is kind of pegged up at the top or the bottom. And stochastics are funny in one way, because when they put down the line, you look at the number of bars and you say, okay, I want to know the lowest bar and I want to know the highest bar of the 35 or the 14, whatever that is. Okay. If that keeps going up and staying as a higher high, it can't get higher than 100%. It can't get lower than the lowest low, because the lowest low keeps building down. Who's pinging me? Okay, so when we get that, when we get this structure right here that's staying up pretty much above the 80, that says it's getting up to it. The highs are staying high. In fact, they're not just staying high, they're climbing high. Well, the faster stochastic, turn off my pings. Yeah, let me do that. Hold on. Sorry about that. Options. Play sound on private message. Okay, there you go. Thanks a lot, Gas. I forgot. So when this occurs, you see there's a very small dip. It went down from, let's say, 13, call it 50. And it went down to 47 and a quarter, 47 and a half. Okay, well now that didn't hardly hurt the 35 bars, but it really made a huge drop in the 14 bars. Okay. When that went down, because my 35 is staying up, it went down and then it turned right back up to be highs. Kept building highs, building highs, building highs. So on my 14, I got momentum, where on my 35, I already had some momentum. Okay. So this looks like, if you pictured it perfectly, the red line was kind of flat, but the green line pulled like you were pulling back a slingshot. And that's what that trade is called. It's called a slingshot. Why? Because you're pulling back that thing, that faster one, to become momentum when it turns back up to your slower stochastic. Okay, now I'm going to go to the last one that I talk about, that I do, and here we have a down, because where before at 10 o'clock it was the fast broke above the slow from oversold, Here we're getting the fast breaking below the slow in overbought. Okay. Yeah, I mean, uh, I make most of my trades on ticks, but the 2 is one of the reasons I hate trading the ES compared to oil or gold is because oil and gold move fairly smoothly. The ES tends to get choppy, trade in a line. Okay? So I do like the 2-minute. No, I love oil. Oil is fab. For me, oil, you can lose your whole account, though. I mean, I am not saying trade oil. That's for me, but I've been trading this stuff for 6-7 years. So, I'm not saying anybody should trade oil or futures at all. I'm just telling you what I do. And oil is insane. You can lose $150 per contract in seconds. You can make $150 per contract in seconds. So it's not for the faint of heart. I'll just give it that much. Now, here we again have a fast crossing through beneath the slow from overbought. The opposite of the trade that occurred at 10 o'clock is now occurring at about 11:24 on this chart, approximately. So we get a nice down because my momentum is fast. Okay, my fast momentum is moving. At the same time, I would not necessarily take this, except that my 3 crossed my 8, which gives me a signal also. The symbol on that is, like Racer X said, it is CL, and it depends on who your broker is. On toss, it's a /CL. Other ones, for instance, Infinity, no, Flatlander. I'll go over that in a second. In Infinity, it's CL, then it's the month, or the period, U2. Gold is GC for most of the places. Okay. Okay, let me get to that. But crude oil, I use 77 tick for my fast, a 177 tick for my trend, and then I also have a 5-minute. You are hearing pings. Oh, I know why. Hold on, Gas. I know why now. Thank you. Hold on. I remember why. What's the red line in the stochastic? Okay, hold on. Let me go to here. I forgot I got it on both charts. Play sounds. Thank you. I thought it was in my earphones, but I guess it is coming over. Okay. Please turn off your speaker. What speaker do I have? I don't think I have a speaker on, do I? Okay, let me make sure. I didn't think I did. Is it oh, the pings. Yeah, that was because I had I have this also. Great, thanks guys. No problem. Here, let me move this down so I can see it occasionally too. Now, what what I do here is this started coming down, and then it kind of, if you look at my green, 1433 stochastic, kind of lined across, and I got a flat, ledgy area. My Bollinger Bands here squeezed. And what happened was, just like with the SlingShot, which was stuck at the top back here, and my 1433 went down then up. Here, this went up, but my price hardly went up at all. This is a very typical look. At the same time, my Bollinger Bands, when this 1433 turned around and went down, I broke out of my Bollinger Band squeeze, and my long-term stochastic went down, and my fast stochastic went down, and this was a move from approximately 1349. It went to 1347. It went back up to 48.25, and then dropped all the way to 1345.75. Okay. What are the Bollinger Band numbers? I just use standard 20 moving average on the Bollingers and 2 standard deviations. Yeah, oil could strike badly on war news, okay, because they're shooting near Iran. So far, oil is still, pretty much flat, but that could go nuts. Somebody, Hades, you're right, buddy. That could go nuts. Can you show the study setup in TOS? Oh, yeah, let me do that. Here, let me do it this way. Okay, so, I can't really, it's going to be hard to see, I can tell you. I have a moving exponential here, and I could have done it a different way. Let me say this. I have moving average 2 lines. The fast length is 3. It's based off the close. The slow length is 8. And the average type is exponential. That's for my 3 and my 8. On my 50 and 200, I could have done it as 2 lines on this one because I made this up just before I came on. I have a 50 exponential and a 200 exponential. Those I really use a lot for support and resistance. Notice this area here at 11:30 almost to about 12:10 stopped right at the 50. I mean, just stopped dead on at the 50 for this chart. It went up to the Bollinger Band, and when it broke through that 50, that's when and it broke through the 200 also, that's when the Bollinger Band spread, and that's where that trade came in. This trade where you have a down long term, so the 3510 is heading down or heading up, and the fast, in my case the 1433, I also use a 933. Those when they're not stuck at the top, or when the 3510 is not stuck in overbought and you get that slingshot look, this is called money on the floor. Why is it called money on the floor? Because it's so good, most of these. People say it's like being able to pick money up off the floor. That's where that came from. I didn't make that one up, but that's kind of what it is. No, pants on the floor is different, DG. That's from naked trading, buddy. Again, if you want to learn a little more about this, I mean, I don't have time to really do this much. In fact, I better make sure I've got, let me have Skype up for John, just in case. So that's all I've got on this, you know, with the trade setup. Now, if you look, I'm just putting the Skype up for John in case he needs to call. Probably he'll put a thing in the room, but if you look now, the 3510 from about 1/4 to now, the 3510's heading up. A lot of times what will occur is this faster stochastic will come down and touch this or close and then turn back up. That again would be a money on the floor and would be a bullish trade. Okay, so that's enough of this. Right now I'm looking at the ES. I'm seeing basically flatness. You know, we're in lunchtime. One of these days, I just saw a good thing, but it's going to take too much time to teach it. But that's what I want to say about the ES. It's lunchtime, and I don't trade ES much anyway. So, you know, I don't trade the ES at this time, especially. I don't trade oil much either at this time. Tick fast chart for the ES. I trade a 256 and a 512 Hades. On the ES. Now, when I trade my oil, I trade exactly the same stochastics. I trade exactly the Bollinger Bands, and I trade exactly the same EMAs. The difference is they're very fast charts because oil moves 20 times faster than the ES does. For the ES, I use a 77 for my fast, 77 tick for my fast oil chart. That's the one I enter on. The one I tend to get my trends off of is a 177, but you could use up to, you know, 256, 233. Yeah, a 77 tick for the fast chart on oil. Oil easily moves 15-20 cents in moves on the 77. Each tick is $10. So if it can move 10 to 20 cents easily in a move on the 77, that's $100 to $200. How many contracts? I'm not going to say because that depends on you. I know I'm a lot less than Andy. So, I mean, it depends on you. You just gotta pick out what's your risk reward tolerance. Can you go to sleep if you just dropped $10,000 because you got 10 contracts? I can't, but some other people can. Bless them. So yeah, that's that. The stochastics I use are exactly the same. I may use on the 77, on the slower one, I may use a 933. Do I drink vodka while I'm trading? Only if I can. No, actually, I don't drink anymore. I have diabetes. It kills you when you have that. But I can get drunk with the best of them. I just got to think about it. Just bring back my memories. Yeah, you are 80s. Damn you. So let's look at some of the things. I see Apple's up about $5 right now. And TLT, which is the 20-year bond, is really not a 20-year bond because there is no such animal. It's a combo. It's an ETF that's a combo of the 10 and the 30 bond. It's up, and that's usually up when the market is weak. So, and the same with the VIX. The VIX is up, not much. The bonds are up a lot, and that's why I wonder if they thinking something about Bernanke, because the Fed is what's moving this. I believe the market some, but definitely the TLT. Because the Operation Twist was to buy up the long-term bonds and sell off the short terms. Well, the TLT being made up of the two longest term treasury bonds is long term, so it's up, but this is different. Usually the market's going down strong when the TLT is up $1 plus. So I don't know what's really driving this market at this point. Well, GT Trader, have a good one. Now, what I'm also seeing is First Solar's up $1, CVX, the Chevron is up 70, MMM, 3M is up 69 cents. Not much of the high movers. My list is mostly high ATR, and someday I'll do a thing on how to do some of the covering options. Top step. Racer X. So today's the 16th. When is that show? Racer X 442 said there's a show, and gave us the it's right now. Okay. Well, cool. Anybody wants to go there, Racer X, put that in the room. But I will hate you if you leave me, because I'll cry and miss you all. Let's see. There's some gold is down today, but GLD is up. I don't understand that one. Oil's up a quarter, and it's still going down, so I'm not sure how much longer it's going to be. Apparently, they didn't hear about the battle in near Iran. Quick, do you trade using toss via T? Oh, I would. I used to trade the ES on toss. One of the worst things I've ever done. Uh, and I got them down to where the commissions were actually as good as anybody. So, it sounds good, day trader. Okay, sounds great. 130. I'll tell you what. Yeah, I don't predict. I never predict oil. I do, and but not for trading. I predict what I think is happening, but I do not predict it for trading. So, that's my situation. I trade for, hopefully I'm in a trade a minute or less. That's what I like to do. And hopefully can catch my 20 ticks and be done with that trade. A few times a day, and I'm done for the day on oil. That's how I trade. Anyway, we're still flat. I mean, this is just not moving much at all. And I don't like to trade much before 130 anyway. From 130 on, that's usually a pretty good time. What the reason for that is something that has to do, most of your trades will happen between 9:30 and 11:30. No, I don't, hippie. Most of your trades are big, hedge fund, mutual funds, companies, what have you. Either buying for the day or closing orders for the day, and that's usually done about 11:30. Okay. After that, you get into, from about 11:30, 12 o'clock to about 1:30, 2 o'clock, you get into the guys who just are there to move orders around, seeing if they can make things, but it's not going to usually move much. That doesn't mean it's never going to move in that time. So that's why I pretty much stay out of it. And you could see from 11:30 on, I think we've moved 2 points or something, 3 points. So that's fine for me. I just sit by. Anyway, I see First Solar is kind of stuck there. Apple's coming down a little. Duncan is hanging there at 43 cents up. About 6.48 is the price. We just crossed. I don't see anything happening though. I really don't. Anybody got any good questions? Does that help? I don't know why it went out. There it is. Okay. Day trader, I'm going to cut out here, bud. Fun to be on for you and enjoy being with the people. So I'm going to cut out here. It's up to you. Do you hear it? Okay, great. I'm gone. Day traders coming up. Have fun the rest of the day, guys.